Good evening. Welcome to this is game 2 of matches between Team Titans Miss of 2019 and Team Komodo Hypers on this wonderful Friday evening, at least here in the United States. My name is Claire Mouse. I'm joined today by DJ Darkwing D. DJ, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm ready for a hyped game. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. So I actually had the pleasure of commentating game 1 between these two teams, where Team Komodo Hypers with Kyung and Prime managed to sneak out the win versus Team Titans Miss with Nep and Enium. Looks like they've swapped out their runners today with daaanty and Chex, and Team Titans Miss are looking probably to take this match to 1-1 and sneak out the win today.
I think that's where we're heading. So far, daaanty is just on a tear through the league right now, 4-0. Farimi, who raced the last one, is also 4-0 so far. Both teams coming in 5-2. That is.
Oh yeah. All right. That looks like we're starting, and quite actually the difference in starts. Daanty's gonna start from Link's house. Looks like he's gonna go head up to the castle. Chex is going to start out as Sank and presumably make his way towards Kakariko, but maybe there's something good in the Lost Woods for us.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm really enjoying too about all the different games this week is just so many different strats that we're seeing. That is a wonderful tree pool.
Hey, all right, looks like we're not even going to go visit our uncle or the castle. We're just going to farm out these tier 1 tree pools. This information is actually in the spoiler log itself, so heads up to both these teams to find early resources, and very convenient.
Yeah, so if you haven't been able to catch this week of Link to the Past Randomizer League, this is the spoiler. If I can't talk tonight, it is the spoiler pilot log race. I still screwed that up. But anyways, basically one runner is running the race while they have a teammate in comms with them right now who has the spoiler log and is telling them where everything is.
Yeah, and actually not only do they have the spoiler log, they're actually allowed to watch the restream and each other's streams just to get that extra piece of information to even see, where their opponents are. Because, once you have the spoiler log, there's not really much information you need to hide from your opponents at that point.
I've already got a couple of things in here too. We got a glove, we got a book, we got a key to Castle Tower, and I think that was a key to Misery Mire. So daaanty accidentally using a bomb on that wall.
The perils of quick swap here looks like, or no, maybe it's just muscle memory.
I do that all the time when I'm doing pilot practice. So there's the small to desert, a few more bombs, and oh, nice money.
Yeah, so 300 early means we have very little, or hopefully little, money issues, unless we have to go farm up some more money potentially for Zora. But yeah, if they need bottle vendor money, they need bomb money, they have dig game money, they can have pod money. They have potion money if they ever find a bottle.
That's another thing that's really important is trying to route in like at least one bottle. You gotta have a few safeties in there somewhere.
Yeah, it looks like actually a pretty stacked Kakariko so far. We've gotten lots of keys, and we found a glove, as you said, and we found a book. So this and I think we also found a small key to Desert Palace, if I am reading our tracker correctly. So this might be indication that we're gonna pay a visit to Desert soon.
Yeah, I believe that was in the back of the well. And it looks like something on Race Game today, too.
Yeah, good thing about spoiler log races is you don't have to make decisions of whether or not you want to, blind do this race. You've got a great co-pilot that tells you exactly if you need to do this or not.
Yeah, it's always nice not having just to go through everything. Oh, and those early boots.
All right, so that is probably one of the best finds here early on. Both these runners, I'm sure, will be very, very happy to pick those up.
Yeah, I know when I'm practicing, that's one of the first things I say is, "Where's my boots?"
That's right. That's right, because you're going to be a runner, right?
Yeah, I got a race coming up on Sunday.
All right, so our first piece to a fully playable game has already been found at the 3-minute mark. Next thing that these runners probably will want, as Chex is kind of demonstrating here, is that they want that really nice sword. Instead of kind of having to ninja maneuver his way around those guards, he can just dash right through.
And like that shows right there, it's always nice to have a sword. They did pick up the Eastern Big, so I wonder actually if there's a bow somewhere over here.
Ooh. Yeah, certainly that's the hope. Eastern, of course, being the first crystal dungeon, also in the game, is should be hopefully doable for them.
Also, a full heart in there too.
These safeties, man, they're just so conveniently placed right along the path.
Well, and that's something that some people struggle with. I know that when we practice, that's occasionally something that we struggle with, trying to just find where some of these hearts are, and sometimes they're just not in good places, and you're stuck doing Ganon with green mail and 6 hearts.
That doesn't sound like a very good or fun Ganon fight to be.
No, it isn't, but we see the runners going straight for the King's Tomb, picking up flippers. So are we seeing possibly something with Zora? Where do you think they're going to be heading next?
All right, so at least we certainly see Chex, doing some South Shore stuff. So potentially Dam. So I still want to, kind of place my bets on the Desert Palace area. So maybe this is like a dam into the, maybe Gina's cave, or maybe just in Desert Palace itself. Hey, that's a pretty useful pearl there, right inside.
It definitely is. Not heading towards Eastern just yet. It looks like.
Chex. Why are you making me eat my words?
I mean, they still need the Desert Big, and maybe there's just something over there that can just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, Chex has to. Yeah, as you said, we really would like that sword. These crabs do 2 hearts of damage, as Chex had just demonstrated by taking a hit. And Daaanty, oh jeez, Daaanty, please help!
Those DDR skills coming in handy, trying to dance around everything.
Yeah, those are some good dodging, and when he did have to take a hit, he made sure that he got hit with that. Oh man, but the bird. Chex is also playing pretty dangerously here with these crabs, using some pause buffer strats. Really nicely done to be able to try and buy himself a little bit more time.
Those pause strats just worked out great, and GT Big Key.
Alright, so that is certainly something that they need eventually, because we do have to scale up Ganon's tower. However, given that it's not necessarily needed at this time, this could be just the most convenient time in order to route this key in. You've got boots, you're in South Shore, we'll just kind of pick this up.
Looks like we're actually about to head over to the Dark World now.
Oh good! I always want to enter Dark World with 4 hearts, green mail, and no sword. Easy.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to end up being about 2 swords in Thieves Town at this point.
Okay, all right. so long as these runners can find their progression, these guys are top tier runners, being piloted by extremely skilled and galaxy brain people. So we've got Kyung on Chex's side with Team Komodo Hypers, and we've got Eddie piloting Daaanty.
And our first divergence.
Having...
Go ahead.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, I was going to say, so Daaanty not having the fire out here can't really get anything in the back of Skullwoods, but yeah, the front of Skullwoods, Daaanty saving his bombs here, maybe for potential future use. Picking up a small key to Skullwoods, very, very interesting in the big key chest. But I was gonna say, yeah, the front of Skullwoods usually potentially has a good amount of value here.
Oh, and we're going to the middle chest without a weapon. I mean, we got bombs, but that doesn't make it any easier.
Yeah, this is also when you kind of want to hope that you have something more able for your usage other than just bombs, as you said. Oh no! As Daaanty in these Gyptos, claiming the first death of our 2 runners. Manipulating these Gyptos is really not easy. Oh no, Chex! Yeah, these runners are very much demonstrating the perils of this room. Chex is just being grabbed by Wall Master here. Kind of have to start over. daaanty is taking, making attempt number 2 for manipulating these mummies. Holy cow.
Yeah, that Gibdo walked right in there. There was no place to go, and you can daaanty just accepted his fate.
Alright, so we've got one Wall Master on Chex's side and 2 deaths on daaanty's side. But Chex makes it through second time. Really nicely done. Finds a probably very important bow for Eastern.
Yeah, we do already have the big key. Looks like they were trying to decide, are we going to keep going or not? Looks like there might be something else over here. That's cool. That's just a death warp.
Yeah, certainly this attempt at this third death is, yeah, as you said, probably very much intended since he was only on half a heart. Yeah, but no, it looks like there was, after a bit of probably deliberation on Chex and Kyung's side, along with daaanty, we are running out of Skull Woods, which means we probably have something else of value here in maybe Village of Outcasts, or at least in the Dark World.
Well, I'm glad to know those fairies are there. I will say I'm not an Invitational League caliber player, and they just run right away. He gets a B!
Oh no, daaanty! Those fairies! I mean, why couldn't the fairies fly toward him? Why does it always have to be the bee?
That's just, as my teammates would say, that's rude.
Yeah, chat kind of also, pointing out that probably more fans or veterans of inverted mode probably have a little bit more advantage here since, we're pretty much in the exact same spot as, inverted, starting out in the Dark World with just, 3 or 4 hearts and free mail.
And here we go, some more divergence again. They kind of came back together for just a minute, and there's a key to Turtle Rock. Well, we're going to get the former Hype Cave. Not too bad so far. A little bit of money. That big key is always nice to have. Curious if anything is going to be turned in with that mushroom.
Yeah, it's also somewhat interesting to see Chex picks up 220 rupees back from Hype Cave. So this might be also an indication that he needs some more money, or he's trying to kind of farm his way up to 300 to 500, and just get grabbing some of the convenient chests along the way. Or maybe it was just, good for bomb money.
It's always good to have.
Yeah, so one definitely observation about Kyung is that he is very detail oriented, and given that Kyung has had a lot of success in the previous spoiler lock tournaments, he was first place in the 2019 and second place in 2020. He very much is aware of resource management, so this certainly probably is going to show on Chex's side.
Oh, and actually, it looks like they skipped earlier Mini Moldorm and coming back to it now.
Yeah, meanwhile, looks like daaanty is continuing his romp through the Dark World, kind of picking up whatever he wanted in Village of Outcasts. He's probably going to get his goodies here out of Hype Cave.
Well, there's a bottle finally.
Yeah, Chex is probably happy to see that safety. Given on, he already did a good amount of probably dangerous rooms here, in the back of Skull Woods on 4 hearts, but you would probably never turn down a easy bottle with a blue potion in it at this point.
Honestly, as low percent as you end up doing inside a spoiler race, I wouldn't turn down any bottle filled with anything at all. You can always just go buy some potions with it anyways. So, and I think we also got, the Hyrule Castle key back there as well. It looks like they need that bottle for Sick Kid. Bombos.
Yeah, looks like, thanks to our, great tracker again, showing us or pre-marking on our trackers and our screens what the pendants and dungeons are for each of the dungeons, as well as the medallion entry requirements. All this information is still readily available in the spoiler log, so we're really probably not going to see our runners, do any map checks or kind of take a sneak peek at the medallions once they're over there.
It looks like they're over on Dante's side, trying to discuss what they want to do. They ended up saving and quitting from over at the eastern area.
Yeah, this is the fun part about being able to try and parse that spoiler log on the fly. You know, you try and come up with some sort of route, and then you try and look at the log a little bit more, and then you're like, no, wait, let's do this instead. This type of like dynamic routing is actually really fun, but it's also quite chaotic.
To answer the question in chat, Dante has Ether, as we just saw it picked up by Chex. Chex has both Ether and Bombos.
Alright, I assume that death was intentional to get out of Thieves Town. Alright, looks good. Yeah, Dante checks. Alongside with Dante earlier, just kind of grabbed what he needed from Crystal Thieves Town. No current permanent weapon to be able to kill blind, nor do we have, looks like, the big key. So it looks like it's probably just going to be a forced, probably forced double dip, or it's just the most convenient thing. Oh no, fairies! Chex is exhibiting some of whatever Dante had. Chex, I guess, has caught, because those fairies also did not want to cooperate with him.
So are we maybe heading to Catfish now over on Chex's side?
Yeah, that's certainly very much an option. Or maybe they want to go further south. Looks like there's no hammer, so they probably can't take like the more traditional Dark World paths. But yeah, looks like maybe maybe it's Catfish. Or maybe Chex just doesn't want to die right here because that enemy is not looking to make his life easy.
No, this is a terrible spot to be in. He does some good maneuvering and baits him over, though.
Alright, so it looks like on Dante's side, we're gonna take a sneak peek here at Desert Palace. I did spy another bottle on the ledge, so that is also going to be a really nice pickup safety for Dante.
Yeah, he doesn't need the. I mean, the safety is always nice. The bottle isn't needed just yet, though. If anybody didn't catch that earlier, that is the bottle turn-in on Sick Kid is Bombos, which is needed to get into Turtle Rock, but also might just be used for ice.
Yeah, Chex also kind of exhibiting some more game knowledge. He, ended up bumping that tree for that fairy because he couldn't get the fairies earlier in Village of Outcasts to cooperate with him.
And that's why we know they needed that small key now. As Dante picks up his first sword.
Game is fully playable for Dante. He is going to be able to dash to his heart content. No more of this, ninja maneuvering around enemies in order to, not take any health. I mean, this is really like low percent all around the Dark World overworld, which is extremely dangerous without any type of permanent weapon.
This is the type of seed that, like, you'd want to give your friend that you don't like.
Wait. Where?
And a sword picked up over on Chex's side as well. So we do know where two of them are now.
Yeah, in fact, when Dante comes over to Pod, he's going to be able to have his Master Sword, which is going to be a really nice treat for him. Okay, so that's also a really nice safety on the floating island, half magic. Assuming they find that mirror sometime, certainly would not be out of the realm of question for either of our runners here to pick that up.
And headed to ice.
Oh,
this is a very scary play.
Wow. Does he have magic? Oh, okay. All right, so that is a heads-up play to use that blue potion. Still, Fighter Sword, Green Mail, 4 Heart, Bombos, Ice Palace. I'm hoping that he doesn't have to go all the way to Cold Stare, and that, he's just kind of dipping this place early so he can get something, maybe like another item of progression.
Yeah, Roach, I could definitely see that. There might be something important in Pengator, and you just grab that and go.
However, given how good these runners are, I certainly wouldn't put it past them that, Dante's like, you know what, let's just go all the way to Cold Stare.
That just doesn't sound fun. Flute, and Roach calls it. We're getting in and we're getting out. That is a big pickup early on.
Yeah, early
Chex
flute
might not be far
means-
behind on that.
Yeah, looks like he is also headed out to Ice Palace. This is also, you know, and somewhere along the way he picked up a 5th heart, so you know he is certainly much more safe than daaanty is at this point.
That was in the bombable wall over on in Pod on the Bollock side.
Cool. Oh, that's right, he was over there. Yeah, here we see daaanty activating his flute. This, yeah, early flute means a really nice early mobility. Yeah, and as you said, it looks like Chex is just right behind him.
So they still have a lot of options they can do right now. You know, Eastern and Desert are both crystals. Of course, when you know where stuff is, though, you might just want to wait until you have better items. And straight to Meyer area.
Yeah, I mean, is this a low percent or is it like really low percent? We're basically we haven't spent practically any amount of time in the light world, and we're just, you know, hopping over from dark world area to dark world area.
And it's really interesting too, seeing the mindset of some of these higher tier runners. You know, when a lot of people in the open league do it, it's, well, we have this dungeon, let's just go ahead and do it. While a lot of these people are saying, well, let's get more stuff and just make the dungeons overall faster.
Oh yeah, yeah. So to watch them, like the routing from, you know, both Edium and Kyong, I mean, it's they really are able to basically optimize, you know, like and really look and basically also to make sure that the runners are capable of being to clear dungeons if they need to. A sign of a good pilot is to be able to take care of their runners as well.
See, I'm really, really bad at this game. I would not want to be in here with just 4 hearts.
You know, so that's part of the fun, right? Is you know, as a team effort, you know, you as runner, you know, if you're not comfortable, you hopefully will get your pilot to get you a couple more safeties, you know, before you have to tackle this. I imagine somebody like daaanty though, and also Chex, you know, so us going in here with 5 hearts, they are pretty confident in their abilities to at least survive what they need to in Meyer.
Oh, exactly. I mean, Lamp is very nice pickup right there as well. And if you can catch it earlier, they got the big key to Thieves Town. You know, we are talking about, you know, some of the best runners in the community, so they'll definitely be a little bit more comfortable coming in here low percent than somebody like me would.
Yeah, and you know, so I also didn't spy a big key to Meyer on the tracker, so my guess is that this is also probably going to be another force double dip, and you know, they're just going to get their nice goodies out of the way.
Possibly, we're going to go over to the Firelock side now. So that's definitely something nice to see, is getting your first fire item and then being able to just come right over here and get what you need. Not the hammer, it's the hook shot.
Yeah, daaanty also taking some observation to conveniently death warp out with those spikes right on that room.
It looks something possibly in the shed too. Almost made it. Yeah, that's nice to see.
That is an extremely nice safety upgrade. You know, to go from green mail to blue mail, I mean, you basically just double number of parts in there. Alright, Chex not far behind daaanty. Gonna grab his nice things out of Misery Meyer. And looks like we're headed right back to the Dark World. At least these runners were able to pick up blue. At least daaanty on his side was able to pick up blue mail. Chex looks like he is going to not consider blue mail, at least for the time being.
Like now, though, this the ping pong from Dark World to Light World is finally going to culminate in an actual dungeon.
Yeah. So, we are back in Thieves Town. We've got the big key. We've got a permanent weapon that we can use to damage blind with. We've got 4 hearts. We've got blue mail on Dante's side. This should be a cakewalk for them, right?
I'd hope so. It's always fun to see as well in these races and situations like this, just how much stuff actually gets picked up. And you get to really see how, in a regular game, how much you're actually able to skip. Although, you wouldn't because you don't have the spoiler log, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, and then sometimes, after you kind of read the spoiler log and try to figure out where your items of progression are, sometimes you're really thankful to have that spoiler log because the sea can be quite mean on occasion to, for the item placements. Oh, wow, that's a really nice dash on Chex's side. Dancy, unfortunately, did not have as nice a luck than Chex did.
Yeah, it really seems like, hammer
geez.
right there.
Because if you ever want to find a hammer, you definitely want it to be in the attic chest of Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm. Better than in ice. But it definitely is a nice place to find it.
Yeah, both runners here are taking care to make sure that they don't die. Dante has a little bit more safety with that blue mail, but he's also using some of his game knowledge to kind of pick up some parts along the way. One of the worst things that can happen to you in a spoiler log race is if you end up dying, because that is time that you cannot, under any circumstances, make up.
No, it is definitely rough when that happens.
Wow. I don't know if this is planned or not, but Dante ended up picking up the fighter shield in the back of Sahas's closet, and I just happened to be the maiden cell also has another shield, so shields are progressive. So he actually will have another nice safety here as the fire shield when he fights blind.
Yeah, that's something Chex decided not to grab. You can't really blame him for not picking up an extra shield. Sorry, but yeah, definitely does give Dante a little more help on this fight. Doesn't look like he needs too much of it right now. I'll say that as he takes a hit.
Yeah, of course. Both these runners are trying their best to stay on script, looking very much likely for the most part.
And Dante does pull it off. Just one hit away, one hug away from death there, but pulls it off. And there's our first crystal at 26-37. Picked up just a few seconds later by Chex.
Both these runners might just be... No, both these runners are probably just like, oh, okay, all right, where do I go next? No time for celebration. Yeah, it looks like, do we have some more divergence? Maybe there is something interesting here in hammer pegs.
It'd be interesting to see what it is, considering Dante did not pick it up.
Oh no, Dante, these dead rocks are so terrible. Alright, Dante only on 4 hearts. Oh, that's pretty important on Chex's side to pick up the Cane of Samaria.
I'm pretty sure that's needed this go around.
Yeah, maybe. We have seen Dante able to hover. However, we do see that Meyer is a crystal, so there is no getting around the Cane of Samaria today. Now, of course, the Cane of Samaria is absolutely required for Meyer. We know they have both to go back eventually, but it may not necessarily be an item that they have to pick up, sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it might have just been a convenience thing.
Alright, looks like Chex wanted to go up the mountain for something else, but potentially maybe has been told by Kian to reverse course. We might be going back to Meyer for that hook shot, potentially. But also, I don't know if they're going to keep going further with that Cane of Samaria.
Oh, he didn't get the hook shot when he was in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I see.
Oh, I did not notice that at all. We were kind of focused on daaanty and getting our 07s in chat. And there's the Meyer big. 2 hearts as well in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, so yeah, this is probably just something that is a bit of an oversight on Chexhuman and Kyung's side, because, you know, with that Meyer big key, we know where the Kana Samari is, so now, you know, with the combined items of both our runners, we can be able to clear Meyer. And yeah, that Paradox Cave must also had a boatload of health there, because, you know, I'm looking at daanty's life bar, and it suddenly ballooned all the way to 7 hearts.
So with pod right now, we have the pod big, we have 2 pod smalls. Depending what's in there, that might just be enough to get us through.
Yeah, well, we just saw daanty, you know, clear Thieves Town with blue mail and 4 hearts. You know, pod should be, you know, another cakewalk for him, right? With 7 hearts and blue mail.
I think pod will be just a little easier.
Okay.
He's going to get his Master Sword in here as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is where, in fact, Chex picked up his sword.
Yeah, in the shooter room. He'll also pick up, if he decides to get it, another full heart that was in the Bumble Wall on the Bolock side. I bet my pilot wishes I can remember that much when we race.
Alright, take 2 for Chex here, going up the mountain, armed with that hook shot and some nice hook speed. He is going to kind of retrace some of daanty's footsteps here, and going to pick up his full set of health here from Paradox Cave, as well as the rest of the Meyer big key that he needs to complete the dungeon.
And some more hearts. That part's always nice too.
Yeah. I did not know that Chex knows how to help her.
I'm curious to see how far, you know, when you see a runner like this come in with so few keys, it is always interesting to see just how far they actually go in here, and if those 2 keys are enough.
Yeah, coming into pod with like pod routing.
Oh.
That is a really nice find here in pod, our 3rd sword already. Yeah, but yeah, routing pod actually can be quite tricky with the number of keys, and depending on, you know, where the item locations are.
It feels like lately half the time though there's like a pod key in pod, so maybe we're picking another one up here soon. Looks like we're gonna save a key though and do a hammer yump.
Yeah, Chex is right behind daanty here, gonna get his probably 2nd sword at least out of pod, and whatever other goodies we have here.
And that would be a red mail. So I guess that might explain why Chex decided to not get the blue mail, knowing that you're going to be able to get the red mail right there and a mirror.
Because who wants to come into pod, you know, without the mirror, right? Because pod routing without a mirror is not a good time. But, you know, hey, why don't we just find the mirror in pod?
It's always nice when that thing that makes a dungeon that much easier is in the dungeon.
Good thing we have a spoiler alert to tell us that, because if
Only
we
we had
had
that
to
all the
play,
time.
yeah, we had to play the seed blind. I'm not sure how motivated I would be to, you know, come into pod at this point.
2 keys, no mirror, just a fighter sword. I'll wait. The sword, maybe not.
Alright, with that 1 key left, daanty, it looks like he is ready to take on Helmasaur. You know, with red mail and, what, 8 hearts at this point? It looks like he should be good to go. And he has Temper Sword, so Helmasaur should be a relatively fast fight.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's a lot of the goals that I've seen on people that I know when it comes to the piloting is try to give me at least blue mail, and 8 hearts. He's got red mail and 8 hearts. Maybe there's some more along the way. We'll wait and see. But I think he's in a really good spot right now.
Yeah, and certainly Chex at this point is down a sword compared to daaanty, but in terms of at least the Helmasaur fight, assuming he knows spin speed trust, hopefully this will be a relatively even Helmasaur fight in terms of time between daaanty and Chex.
Chex does need to be careful. Oh, he's got it. Another fairy over there for daaanty. This time he doesn't actually need it, though.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't fairies appear and come towards you when you're only on 4 hearts? Why do you need them on, 8 hearts?
That make the game too easy. That's why you like red mail there.
Yeah, with red mail, you can certainly afford to be much more reckless and kind of more in your face to Helmasaur. And really, what's the point of picking up red mail if you're not going to actually use it, right?
I like to, as a speedrunner, I like to just boost through everything, so it's definitely nice to have that extra armor.
We actually do see a little bit of a nice convenience there on Chex's side. daaanty, not holding the Cane of Samaria, had to kind of maneuver that statue to hit that switch. With the Cane of Samaria, Chex was kind of able to gain a little bit of time over daaanty on that room.
Yeah, and we're seeing right now as well kind of the power of routing. Early on, Chex had what felt like a small lead over daaanty. In the end, daaanty was able to kind of overtake that because he ended up doing pod just in one shot instead of Chex came in earlier to get his first sword out of here.
Yeah, and it also looks like probably another major point of routing divergence was that looks like maybe due to potential oversight, Chex and Kyung ended up leaving the hookshot in Meyer, and they had to take a second trip back for it too.
Yeah, so what I said doesn't actually make sense. I'm sorry.
No.
Well, because I'm also just thinking in my head too, well, to be fair, daaanty did go over and pick up a sword out of desert, so I guess they kind of canceled each other out. And then you brought that up. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I mean, but as you said, like the broad divergence, the fact that daaanty has and Edium has visited desert first, right? daaanty is up a sword over Chex at this point, right? So any amount of firepower, daaanty can have that over Chex at this point.
Yeah, 100% for sure. Not going to help too much when it comes to Eastern here. Definitely going to show something on the well, of course, Chex is good and knows how to do the hammer strats, so that helps. But I don't think it'll help too much in Eastern. But I could definitely see both of them heading back to Meyer and Meyer and Desert soon, and that will at least let Chex pick up his third sword.
Meanwhile, daaanty is just kind of tearing through these rooms in Eastern, giving us a really nice quick kill. There's Armos picking up a small key to Swamp Palace, which is 100% required.
It's always nice when that key is not in just the worst spot.
You think that there should be like a limit, right, to how many things can be in bad spots, for a seed? Sometimes I don't feel like that's actually the case.
I think this is... Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I was just thinking back. So, where did we find the hammer? We found the hammer in Crystal Thieves Town attic chest, which is not really the first place you want to look for when you're searching for the hammer. And we found the mirror in the Dark Maze of Pod, which is also not a place that you're probably willing to look for, for the mirror in Pod.
But it does look like, yeah, we're going to get the Cane of Samaria over on daaanty's side. Picking up a nice safety there for Chex. Picked up in the big key, or the big chest, that is, picking up powder. Something daaanty did not get. But yeah, this is the Cane play, and possibly over towards Meyer now.
Chex certainly not far behind at this point, to daaanty. He is trailing a bit, but looks like it's going to be, the bulk of the Eastern Palace back. Because, he already, as we kind of seen, picked up the Hina Samaria, so he just basically just like an Armos kill and a couple rooms here at Eastern.
I'm going to stop guessing because daaanty is in fact not going to go make the Desert Mire play. It's time to go to Swamp.
Taking full advantage of that shield that he picked up. He worked hard for those 2 shields.
So, there's a possibility of maybe Fire Rod will get in here that'll make Desert a little bit easier. Or maybe the silvers that could make Mire a little easier.
Oh yeah, silver arrows would be great for Vitreous.
Okay, at least I got one of them right.
Yeah, chances are... go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, somebody pointed out in chat, this is definitely a really great play for Chex right now because he is just on Master Sword. This will get him his temper before heading into Mire.
If you can't get silvers for Vitreous, the next best thing you can hopefully get is some sort of nice sword upgrade, either tempered or butter.
Yeah.
The difference between Master Sword and Tempered Sword and Vitreous is quite significant. Alright, so got everything we wanted out of Desert. Going straight. Oh, this is a really nice pull then, if that's the case. We're going straight to Mire. How convenient.
Yeah, that mirror helps a little. And it looks like straight to the back of Swamp.
Oh, it looks like Chex just barely missed that last Wizdrobe. Otherwise, a pretty nice Mire too. Really nice use of the sword beams in that room. One of the few rooms that you really want sword beams for, actually. Otherwise, they just kind of get in the way of your temper sword damage.
So possibly nothing actually in Swamp. This might just be a case of, well, we can do it. Let's just get it out of the way. Bonk.
Yeah, meanwhile, Chex is going to potentially clear out the rest of this dungeon here for Mire. No Fire Rod, unfortunately means no spooky action, which means we're going to see some lesser known screens there, so things we haven't seen for quite a while.
Real nice, clean fight there by daaanty. No, like you said, no Fire Rod or Ice Rod as well, so no quick kill. But on Tempered, 2 quick spins, you're good to go.
Yeah, thanks to that great compass of Swamp Palace that we picked up earlier. I think it was on a boss or something. We in fact do see and confirm that there was nothing of value outside of that crystal that we just here picked up on Argus.
That might have been that one that was on, I think Blind dropped one. And it looks like we're actually getting just NMG strats today.
Oh no, Chex!
Oh, that's rough.
That errant eyeball, man! It's almost seemed like it was a snipe because I don't think anyone expected him to move over there. That is a really kind of unfortunate setback here on Chex's side.
Yeah, I don't think Chex was expecting that either. He had his sword out, was ready for the spin, and then that. Oh wow, that's rough. daaanty with another fairy he doesn't need.
Yeah. I mean, at least the good news is that those poke poison Wizdrobes potentially were dropping arrows, so at least some of his supply here can be replenished. We actually might be seeing some simultaneous Mysteries fights here, if that's the case.
Possibly. daaanty tries to go the other way, realizes he's already used that key and has to go around the other side.
For better or for worse, you can get to practically any room in Mire without any extra keys. You just have to know your way around.
Oh, 100%. That's always really nice in this dungeon. You can't flute out, though.
It's just playing the song of our people inside the dungeon. Alright, take 2 here for checks. Seeing, we get a bonus treat, for seeing these extra screens because we still can't do spooky.
Oh, we forgot to hit the button. Sailor Nep in chat bringing up a good point. Because you're able to actually watch your opponent, there's a good chance that Edium probably telling daaanty, play safe. This is what happened. You've got some cushion now.
Alright, undeterred here on Chex's side, he is going to take 2 on his vicious kill. Really nicely done this time. No errant eyeballs to snipe him away, and 8 arrows into the main eye. Meanwhile, daaanty is in fact trying to take it on his own set of vitreous eyes. Oh man, thank you, Red Mail, for saving us. You definitely see the difference here between the blue mail and red mail. Oh no! Oh no, daaanty!
Oh my god.
Oh, if all the times to have a quick swap mishap. Oh no. Yeah, it looks like what daaanty was trying to do was he's trying to use arrows, but probably just an errant, L and R button out to the mirror. This is one of the dangers we see of quick swap being enabled.
If my teammate Hammer is watching right now, you're no longer allowed to get on me about every time that I do that, because even the best do it. So stop.
Wow. This is, man, Vitreous is claiming victims here left and right, literally. So, as I think I mentioned earlier that, one of the worst things you can do in a spoiler log race is to die because there is no way you can make up that time. Well, yeah, I guess, maybe I should amend my statement because, if you see your opponent also die, I guess that is the only other time you can make up time.
Yeah, so as far as time-wise goes, they're back to about even.
Yeah, it looks like, because, both daaanty and Chex had to kind of make their way back to Vitreous for the second time. And
yeah, the only lead that we're seeing right now is daaanty does have Swamp Palace done already.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, it certainly looks like Chex, with that Temper Sword, he's going to be able to clear Desert faster than daaanty. Daanty's going to clear Vitreous. So then maybe probably, I guess I'm not sure what Chex and Kiang are going to do, but yeah, because we know that Swamp is a fully clearable crystal, that could just they're still lacking that time.
No, it is definitely going to be heading over to Swamp next. Looking at their items and looking at what crystals, we're in go mode. The only thing we have left after Swamp. Yeah, we totally missed that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was so focused on the Vitreous fight, but yeah, that is you actually bring up a very good point because that was Chex's 5th crystal. He is absolutely going to do Swamp next because that is his 6th clearable crystal. That's not on the dungeon. That's not on the mountain. Yeah, after this, this is nice routing by both runners. Pilots is they're just going to be able to go up the mountain and clear Hera and then warp back straight to GT. Alright, daaanty taking extra care to make sure he doesn't quick swap over to the mirror with that great bow usage. 8 more shots to the big eye, and down goes Vitreous for him.
Yeah, that is Net pointing out in chat. Yeah, they've been in go mode for a while. How did we miss that? But also good fight by daaanty. I'm really curious at this point which one of them is going to get back to the mountain first. Well, it'll be daaanty by just a little bit, I think.
we have a not even yeah, pretty much a go mode swap versus a back of desert clear. This is actually a good question. I'm actually not sure which one is going to be faster. The race is very close at this point.
Yeah, really just kind of thinking about the time that it's going to take daaanty to do this versus the time it's going to take Chex to do Swamp here. It's actually not there's not a huge difference between the two right now.
Yeah,
daaanty will definitely get done first, but Chex is not going to be far behind.
Yeah, that red Igor, not making his life easy.
Trying to go with spin hammer strats.
This is also somewhat interesting, right? Because this is a seed where you don't actually need the fire rod. I mean, both the pilots have the spoiler lock, so they know if the GT big key, or if anything is on right side GT. Certainly that's not going to be the GT, but it is somewhat interesting to know that we are only going to have the lamp moving forward, unless the fire rod is somewhere just like in GT on the way.
It's like sitting on Bob's torch or something right now. And I mean, plus at the same time, it is, it's not AD keys. So a lot of times you're not going to really need anything out of GT anyways. So, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like as people, the consensus is that daaanty is the first one here, going to make his way up the mountain, and I have to avoid these terrible dead rocks that did him in the first time. Yeah, and another thing, I guess, in comparison for daaanty versus Chex, daaanty does have red mail, and he does have an extra heart container or two over Chex. So he does have a bit more safety in order to, kind of temper out the execution. So certainly this could still be, let daaanty maybe play a bit more aggressively because he knows he's safer. Alright, looks like Floating Island. I did spy there is a third bottle for us with a green potion. I can't see our runners getting it at this point, but if it's something that they need, it is technically kind of sorted on the way.
Oh, thank God for those extra hits with the hook shot there. Chex almost getting dead rocked. And at 51 minutes and 43 seconds. Oh yeah, never mind. We still got one more crystal.
Yes, 51 seconds. He is ready to take on Hera, which is going to be the third crystal.
Thanks for covering for me.
Yeah. Oh no. I mean, of course, like Hera, especially with Hera Pot these days, very quickly executed there on daaanty's side. No soft block in sight. This is going to be an extremely fast dungeon.
Yeah, that's still a Hera Pot version that I definitely need to learn.
Yeah, everyone has their own kind of nice setups, for Hera Pot. I certainly have heard a good amount of consensus that the spin speed one is much more convenient. You also get to, I think you also get to take more attempts at it, as opposed to like the bomb setup.
Well, I mean, the bomb setup, it just takes so long to do. So if you can get good at the spin speed or hookshot speed, you're going to save so much time doing that. But that is, in fact, our 7th crystal.
Yeah, that was something like about, what, a minute or something?
Yeah, it takes no time at all.
Yeah.
And at 53 minutes flat, we're finally opening GT.
Yeah, Chex is right behind daaanty in this case. He is just pretty much a crystal cutscene and a Moldorm fight away.
We'll almost get knocked off there.
Oh yeah. Moldorm, please be gentle. All right, yeah, really, fast fight here for Chex as well. He is going to be right on daaanty's heels. Yeah, and at this point, it really is just all about execution through the gauntlet. Gauntlet certainly can be quite the equalizer. If these guys are familiar with NMG, this is outside of the safeties. This is pretty much your fire output loadout. You have Temper Sword, you don't have Silvers, and actually, also, we don't have the fire rods, so some of the rooms that maybe some of the runners are used to, they're going to have to kind of make something up on the fly.
So it looks like right now for daaanty, we're at about a 55-second lead. Which, I mean, to be fair, is not a whole lot, as daaanty gets bullied a little bit right there.
Yeah, oh man. You know, Red Mail here does not help against those spikes. They're going to do 100 damage regardless.
Yeah, and if you really need, yeah, he's going to go ahead and pick up safety.
Yeah, I think, yeah, as you mentioned earlier, right, the pilots are able to kind of watch the restream and each other's stream. He, you know, absolutely knows at this point, if he takes a death, I mean, the lead will just turn at this point.
And this is one of those rooms we talked about that it's not nice to have those sword beams.
Yeah, and also daaanty, by consequence, having that red mail, you know, taking a hit from the Stealthos doesn't actually reduce or get rid of his sword beams. But good thing he lost them in the previous rooms because, you know, he was able to kind of slash these Isaacs, so he, you know, has full Temper Sword damage as opposed to sword beams.
So Chex did not pick up the fairy right there, but Chex does have the powder, and we'll be able to get that anti-fairy, or excuse me, the bunny beam in the room before here in Molder Dirt. Whatever boss this is, too.
Chex actually having a really nice gauntlet, you know, just kind of tearing through these rooms. We actually do see daaanty taking on land mode 2. This is one of the rooms that people are very much used to doing with the fire rod. We're going to have to kind of improvise our fight here. Oh, really nice there by Chex as well, landing that arrow with the Stealthos. You know,
yeah.
This is very, very practice for NMG.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Oh, Chex! Oh, wow. Alright, so he kind of paused in that room right before Lambo 2 to try and get these guys to spawn at the same time. So this actually could be a time saver for Chex, depending on how this fight goes.
Yeah, daaanty getting bullied right there as well, losing little bits of time each, but those little bits of time always add up.
Yeah, you know, actually, in fact, I think Chex is, you know, kind of steadily closing in on daaanty's lead here, chipping away, you know, and, you know, Gauntlet is difficult. You see that daaanty, unfortunately, still has to use only Lamp here because we still don't have that Fire Rod. Chex's execution is totally on point through this Gauntlet. Wow.
When was the last time you've had to do this room like that?
You know, I've always been blessed, I guess, with the Fire Rod. I haven't played enough seeds.
To be fair, I play a lot, and I don't think I've had to do that ever. Are we gonna fight, or are we gonna hover? We're gonna fight.
I mean, this must be really tense for both runners right now because, you know, right now their pilots, right, have pretty much, you know, taken them straight to GT, so they don't really have much else left to do other than probably, you know, tell their runners or, you know, trying to keep them calm through this pretty tense gauntlet trip up. Alright, looks like daaanty is going to be the first of our two runners into AGA 2, but this also can be another equalizer.
So we started GT at a 55-second lead for daaanty. We're down to just a 23-second lead now.
That is... you can just... I mean, Chex executed amazingly well here in the gauntlet.
Really great AGA 2 fight, though, by daaanty.
Man, I'm so tense. Yeah, so daaanty is on 3 hearts and red mail. Chex looks like he has heal at his full health, but he only have blue mail, when he goes and fights Ganon.
$58.49 daaanty drops in. This is going to be so close.
Alright, daaanty here, certainly hoping to get the 1-1 here.
Definitely got it. Oh, did not get the one. Got the one, did not get the one.
Yeah, that was some excellent fire dodging there by daaanty.
Goes on to phase 2 though.
Chex equally as ninjatic as daaanty, taking no damage from fire bat so far. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be, holy cow, what? This is gonna be neck and neck. So apparently our silver arrows were in the tower, but yeah, alright, so this is all gonna come down to who can nail all their triples for silver the spins.
Yeah, this is wow. Trying to keep track of how many daaanty's got right now. I think that was 6. Did not get the one there. There's 7.
Oh, was I supposed to be counting? Oh man.
No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm just that excited right now.
Oh man, I mean, I was a bit nervous for Chex. Alright, okay. That was 12 silver spins for daaanty. He just needs to cross this 1x3 bridge and not fall. Chex is super close behind him. Looks like daaanty is gonna finish first place in our race today. Get your GGs out for daaanty and Team Titans Miss of 2019. It looks like he finished with an official time of 1 hour and 55 seconds. Get your GGs out in chat for Chex, finishing up with an official time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 4 seconds. This is an 11-second difference. Holy cow.
Yeah, that was one of the best races we've seen this week so far.
Cow.
As we do have Edium and daaanty in here right now. GG's.
GG's, guys.
Hey, GG's.
Holy cow, I'm sweating so hard.
I can imagine.
So, how did Edium keep you calm, daaanty?
Well, it goes in shifts. First, I had to keep Edium calm because the way that key logic was going for a while, and then every time, like when I mirrored out of Meyer, he was like, "Don't worry about it. You can do it." Needed that cheerleader the whole way.
It's always nice to have a pilot like that.
For sure.
It looks like we're joined by Kyong. We'll get Chex in here in just a moment.
Hello.
There it is. GG as well. Welcome Chex and Kyong. GG to both of you as well.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
GG's.
GG.
What a race.
So, Edium, I want to hear from our pilots first. Edium and Kyong, what were some of the difficulties that you found with this spoiler log in general?
I got confused early because we had to do Sick Kid, and there was only like one good sword and one good bottle available, which we kind of had to go back for because we didn't realize early on that we needed them. And that was just to get into Ice Pals for that first chest, and that was it. And then the pod keys were mostly all terrible, but once I figured out we could make do with 2, then it was fine. But I was definitely a bit like scrambling around trying to figure out how to route pod.
What about you, Kyong?
I ended up making quite a few mistakes. I forgot we had the poke, so that's why I ended up going to pod for our first sword, which was pretty rough. But yeah, I also didn't realize we really needed that sick kid item early. Yeah, the beginning of Dark World was quite a struggle overall.
Yeah,
Green mail, 4 hearts. Yeah.
yeah. We didn't even have a sword when we first went to the Dark World to get that bow, and yeah, I kind of forgot how hard that room can be.
Yeah, you guys actually both picked up your first sword at about the same time. The only difference was, daaanty, you were in Desert, and Chex was over in Pod.
Yeah, and for a while I was questioning, like, obviously I wasn't playing super great, but I was like, why do I need the sword? And then once I got Bombos, like, he was like, okay, go get Bombos off Sick Kid. I kind of understood. I was like, okay, I need that. I'm assuming we're going ice or something. And he's like, yeah, there's a flute there, so we need that. Just getting that kind of made me feel a little better. But yeah, man, these are super, super stressful.
Yeah, like everything important was in Meyer, basically.
Yeah, it was a nice forced double dip on that. So daaanty and Chex, what were some of the challenges you two faced throughout this race?
The Dark World overworld was the hardest overworld of my life, basically. Struggling to get the pod swordless was so dumb. I couldn't get the fairy. It flew away. Both of them.
Oh, you had that happen too?
Yeah.
We
had...
we'd actually joked around a little bit about that. daaanty, every time that you needed a fairy, it flew away. And every time you were at full health, there was one right in front of you coming right at you.
Well, of course, I did not notice the ones coming right at me. Especially if I didn't need them. But obviously, when you are in dire need of help, then it's definitely, that's the ones that you notice.
Yeah, you guys had a quite surreal early game, right? So both of you actually at the same time were in the back of Skull Woods to try and get the vanilla big key chest to get your bow. And I think daaanty, you took two deaths, and Chex got wall mastered once. I mean, that room to do without King's Corner is pretty terrible, let alone on 4 hearts.
There's supposed to be some kind of setup for that. And of course, in like a pressure situation, you're like, okay, you got to go real fast. And it's just like fighting Mothula. I feel like in that room, the faster you try to go and be offensive about getting the statue there instead of just doing what you know to do, then you're going to end up having a bad time like I did. So
I just got bumped into the wall master. It's cheesy. I have a lot of fun doing this. Like, I just sit back and enjoy the ride. I don't think it's that stressful.
Are you runner, Chex? Do you really sit back and enjoy it?
Yeah, I just listen.
Once I get to about the 30-minute mark and I have everything planned out, then I can chill. But the first half hour is pretty stressful.
I'm always yelling at Eddie. I'm like, hey, do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? Like over and over and over. And he's like, give me a second. But that's literally how the first like 30 seconds to 30 minutes goes. Just depends on how the items are playing out.
Yeah, were you guys watching the restream at all when you guys were climbing GT?
I actually had Chex's stream up because I know that there's like a delay on SG's side. So I was like, all right, let's see, where I'm at. And I could just see me bleeding time. And that's where like watching, I think, is terrible because like when you do that and you see yourself bleeding time, then you just stress out even more. Like I almost blew that Ganon fight in phase 2. Like that was pretty Monka-S right there.
Yeah.
You could not tell on our side. Like I thought it was a pretty clean fight.
Well, he had a sword charge primed and was trying to dodge the fire bats with his sword charged, so he was walking slow.
So there was one point.
Sorry.
There were a few points on the swords, and it's a bad pun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know if we ended up losing DJ here because he's not lighting up.
Yeah, all we heard was there was 1 point.
GG on 1 second better menu time.
Oh, yo.
Oh yeah, actually at the very end, I think you were trying to menu over to lamp at the very end again in checks. Like it was just so like tense at the points because I think you were probably, I don't know, like 10 to 15 seconds difference, and it was just like any other amount of time is like it's just that much more of a difference, right? And how close this race was really, you know, coming down to basically the overless spins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Edium said this last night, but you know, in our division, this was the team we did not want to play for this week. Like, because, you know, it's just, Kyung's too good at spoilers. So,
He might have a title or two, yeah.
yeah.
I feel like I'm so much worse in this mode specifically because the way I do this is not great, honestly. Like, I guess it's good enough, but it's very easy for me to make mistakes. And pretty much every race I make at least one blunder.
But yeah, like, I guess our expectations, if we came in and split 1-1, which we managed to do just by the skin of our teeth here, like that was a win for us on our team, I feel like. And we'll try and take this momentum into Mystery Week next week, I guess.
Do you guys know? I'm sorry about that. My internet derped out on me. Do you all know who's racing next week for your teams?
Yeah,
No, I'm racing.
Checks. Yeah, me and Checks are playing.
Yeah, it's gonna be myself and Nep for Mystery. So we'll see what Sahabot gives us, I guess.
Interesting stat as well that somebody brought up in chat. Apparently, Dante, you have not lost a race now.
Stop it. No, we don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it.
Dante's unbeatable. I'm just happy we were this close.
Trying to bring up fun stats. I'll keep it quiet though.
I mean,
don't want to jinx it.
It's a cool stat, but I feel like I don't want to say lucky, but because that term got thrown around a lot in season 2, but will, you know, I don't know. I'm not that great at this. I just I get lucky sometimes, and then I'll just ride it as long as I can.
No way, he played really well. Except for the mirror and Meyer.
We only saw one Vitreous fight on both sides, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right. Any of the runners or pilots have anything else?
I just want to say thanks to the commentators and trackers for running this.
Yeah,
big thanks to the volunteers and all that. I'm gonna actually go ahead and leave. GG's again to Komodo Hypers, Checks, GG, and we'll see you guys hopefully in playoffs. That'd be fun. I think you guys have a better shot at getting there than we do, but we'll figure that out down the line, I guess.
Yeah,
definitely thank you all 4 of you guys for putting on such a really exciting race for all of us to watch.
All right. Well, I guess it's that time of the night where we need to start wrapping things up. That was, I have to say, just a fantastic race. GG to all of our runners. A big thank you as well to the pilots who also have to take their time to do this. It was a lot of fun coming with you, Clear Mouse.
Oh, it was a blast. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
We haven't had a chance to. We got to shout out our tracker.
We absolutely should. He was the one who was like clicking all the buttons here behind the scenes, trying to keep, certainly keeping me honest and making sure that I don't, spat out any erroneous information.
Oh, I thought you were going to say his name. Kono Tyrant.
Oh
was
no,
our
sorry.
guy.
I was trying to find the commands in chat, but looks like they're not actually quite updated. Yes, it is
No.
Kono Tyrant. Please say hi in chat. So yeah, and thank him, for all the hard work that he did.
Yeah, he tried to hit the commentary and runner stuff earlier. Definitely not us. We are not. It's Quacksilver. In fact, I'm. If you want to hit my Twitch page, it is DJ_Darkwing D.
Yeah, I'm good.
Fair enough.
But otherwise, thank you, SpeedGaming, for allowing us to rebroadcast this. Thanks, Fear, and all of the admins and mods for putting on the league, and of course, thank you to all 4 of our runners and teams, daaanty, Edium, Chex, and Kyung, for putting on such a awesome race. There is a ton of rando still this week on pretty much of the SpeedGaming channel, so keep your eyes on the schedule for your next exciting match.
So yeah, big thank you again to Clear Mouse. Again, thank you as well, Kono Tyrant. I'm DJ Darkwing D, and we'll see you next time on Speed Gaming.
Yeah, have a good night.